I'm Aslam Mullah and I am a registered attorney, and in today's video we are going to go through a very common scenario that I see in practice, which is clients often write into me and say, Aslam, I've been married for quite a while now. I want to get a divorce, but my marriage is not registered at the Department of Home Affairs and I don't have a marriage certificate. What do I need to do in that particular situation? So let's get started with it. Marriages in South Africa are regulated by something called the Marriages Act. And in terms of the Marriages Act, the requirements for a valid marriage is that both parties must be over the age of 18 and of sound and sober senses, and most importantly, that the formalities of the marriage have been complied with. Now, what are these formalities? There's actually three major formalities. The first of the three is that the marriage ceremony, the actual ceremony, must have been solemnized by a person who is a registered marriage official. Generally, these are ministers, pastors, molanas, priests, etc. They generally have been registered to authorize and to solemnize marriage ceremonies. That's the first requirement. The second requirement is that the ceremony must have taken place either in a place of worship or in any other place that has open doors. That's what the Act stipulates. And what does the Act mean in that sense? It means that it has been done in the open without any secret, and people were kind of aware of it. And that leads to the third requirement, which that there must be at least 2 witnesses who were present at the time of the marriage ceremony. Practically what would happen is, at the ceremony, the husband and wife, the marriage officer, and the 2 witnesses, they will sign something called a marriage register. After the ceremony, the marriage official will then hand the husband and wife a marriage certificate. The marriage official then has to go and register that marriage at the Department of Home Affairs. However, so it's actually the duty is on the marriage official to register your marriage. However, the formal registration of a marriage is not a requirement for the existence of a valid marriage. In other words, just because your marriage has not been registered at the Department of Home Affairs does not mean that you are not married. If you have a copy of that marriage register that you signed or a marriage certificate, then that is proof enough of your marriage. Now, what happens in the situation where you don't have the register, you don't have the marriage certificate, and your marriage is not registered at the Department of Home Affairs? What do you do in that situation? It all depends on what you want in that particular situation. If you want a divorce, is it advisable then to get married, or rather to register your marriage and then get a divorce? Because if you register your marriage, the default system is in community of property. That means half of your assets are going to be split with your spouse, half of your liabilities as well is going to be split with your spouse. Is that what you truly want? If you want a divorce and perhaps you are the more financially stronger spouse, does it make sense for you then to register your marriage? These are aspects that you need to consider. If you still want to register your marriage, you can go to your nearest attorney, provide him with the proof or her with the proof of the registration of the marriage. How? The marriage certificate, marriage register, and if you don't have that, then at least contact the marriage official who solemnized your marriage. Ask him if he remembers the date. Ask him if he's prepared to do an affidavit confirming that you guys got married. Ask him, ask the witnesses who were there, family members, friends. If you want to register your marriage, it's not too late, you can still do so. But you might have to bring a declaratory order to the court first directing the Department of Home Affairs to register your marriage based on the evidence that you have been married. But like I said, it all depends on your situation, whether you want to go ahead and register your marriage or you don't want to register your marriage. Maybe your spouse has a lot of debts, and if you get married in community of property, you now take 50% of those debts. It's not only about the assets, it's also about the liabilities, and that includes credit card debts, bond payments. If your spouse signed over any kind of liability, stood as surety for somebody else, if they did all those aspects and you get married in community of property, you also get those aspects. Many people forget that. It's not just the assets, it's also the liabilities. So in summary, what did we look at today? We looked at the requirements for a valid marriage, which must be over the age of 18, sound and sober senses, and that the formalities of a marriage have to be complied with. If you have done that, and you have a copy of the marriage register that you signed or the marriage certificate, then you are presumed to be married. It doesn't have to be registered at the Department of Home Affairs. If you don't have the marriage register, the marriage certificate, and you're not registered, you need to decide what you want to do in your particular situation, or you can still go ahead and have it registered. If you need help in your situation, you're more than welcome to click the link below and book an appointment with our office. I wish you all the best, and I'll speak to you soon.